I just moved to a new house and I am building a sim racing setup. So this is the room that we're working with. Let me go to wide angle so you can see the full room. It's in the basement. So a nice little man cave setup is gonna happen here. I used to sim race with this IKEA Poang chair on a desk. That desk is actually, you can see all the boxes because of moving. That desk is right here, leaned up against the door. I had it set up about 22 inches high. This table, or maybe it was 24 inches high. And this table, this little desk area right here is about 32 inches high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to build my racing setup into this corner, and I'm going to build a base out of this sheet of wood, which was just in a shed at the house that we bought and moved into, so I didn't have to buy this wood, which is nice. So here's the plan. Right here where the concrete wall or the brick wall juts out, I'm going to use a jigsaw and I'm going to cut right along here to make a little opening. And this platform will be pushed all the way to the wall. The pedals will be mounted to it. And I'm going to raise it up about 6 to 8 inches. And then I'm going to mount this IKEA chair right there on top, okay? So that's the game plan. Then I'm also going to, I bought a universal car seat, like car bucket seat slider. So I'm going to mount that on the slider as well, so that if someone's shorter, like my wife or somebody gets into the rig and they need to move it forward, they'll be able to pull the bar from underneath there, and then they'll be able to move the rig forward closer. The dimensions of this are gonna be pretty close to what I used to have on my old rig. So that's the game plan right now. I'm gonna make more videos and keep it updated. All right, so now we take the jigsaw and we cut that section. Hopefully this works. Okay, so step one is done. So you can see here, I cut out with my jigsaw the space needed right there. All right, so some decision time on the pedals. This base I made previously for my last rig was made out of this just scrap wood. It's actually, it looks not great, but it's actually super, super solid. So what I'm thinking, and these pieces on the back were for the purpose of, as it leaned back, it would have some leverage against the wall, and when I press really hard on the brake, the pedals would not lift up. I don't need that now because I'm going to be screwing directly into the bottom, into the platform. So I think I'm going to take these off. These are screwed in. There's a screw from the bottom. So I'm gonna unscrew those and take these off, which will also help with the fact that my desk, my previous desk was 2 inches deeper. So I needed these pedals to be 2 inches back to retain the same ergonomics I had. Okay, as I was sitting here thinking about it, as I was unscrewing these extenders that were here, I was thinking, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well do it all properly and have it look really, really aesthetically nice. I'll sand it and maybe paint it black. It's a little extra step, but I think it will look nice. All right, I do have a ton of different spray paints, just all sorts of colors. I used to do a lot of murals and paintings and things like that. So I might actually get more creative with the coloring of the rig itself, but for where the pedals are going to be mounted, I'm just going to use this because I have it. It's black paint and primer. My feet are going to be all over this, or you know, it's going to be down where it gets dusty and stuff like that. So I figure just going straight black will be good. Plus it's a paint and primer, so it'll seal pretty well, corrosion resistant or whatever. So yeah, I think this will be a good paint choice for our base. All right, this does not need to be perfect by any means. All right, I'm gonna pause and show you the end result. All right, the step that I have the least amount of faith in is the step I'm about to do. So what I have to do now is I have to make this base standing up 8 inches taller. Now, this is 1 inch thick. It's about 1 inch thick. So what my plan, that I don't know if it's gonna work, is I'm gonna take this piece of wood. The reason I'm taking this piece of wood is literally because I'm trying not to spend any money on this. I'm gonna take this piece of wood and I'm going to cut it into 6-inch pieces. 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. That will make at least 6 pieces. Ooh, this might not be enough actually. I'm gonna have to rethink this. And so I wanted to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wanted to make 6 posts. Actually, no, that's 72 inches, 6. It'll make 6 of them. It'll make 12 of them. So we're good. Okay, yeah, this is exactly 6 feet on the dot. So I just need to make a mark every 6 inches, which is going to be where we're gonna cut. So like I said, because the wood doesn't seem that dense, not sure how great it'll be, but I'm going to attach them like so. Let me see if I can show you. So I'm going to attach them kind of like an L like that. Screw them together like that, and then we'll attach them to the bottom, and hopefully that will be strong enough to give us 6 to 7 inches of rise out of our platform. Nice. Easy. Okay, here's the progress. This is the painted board that the pedals will go on. The paint is almost dry. It's a little bit tacky. I guess I didn't fully sand off the clear coat or protective part in some spots. So I don't know, it's not the cleanest paint job, but it doesn't need to be. And after adding screws, I made these L shapes, and these are gonna go underneath each corner, and they're going to act as the supports that this is gonna stand up on to make it 6 inches taller. So we got 6 inches here, about 1 inch thick board, and then about 1 more inch from the sliding bracket from the car, which should bring my total height gain through this platform to 8 inches, which should give me the same ergonomics that I had at my last apartment. This is probably not how to properly do it because completely eyeballing, and I might make a mistake, but you know what? That's life. All right, that's one down. Is it gonna be strong enough to support me sitting and racing? Hopefully. All right, so here we are. We have, these are put on, screwed in from the top. Let me go to a wider angle. So these are screwed on from the top. They all went in really, really well. There might have been like one or two where I had a little bit of splitting, but any spot where I had splitting, like I think here I probably had splitting, I was able to put a second screw in that didn't get splitting, so we should be pretty solid. Okay. All right, there we go. Wow, I was not positive it was going to fit, but it's perfect. And I honestly thought it wasn't going to be, I thought it was going to be wobbly. Man, that is really, really good. That's a bit of a surprise. So, all right, so I went outside and painted. Unfortunately, I rushed it really fast, just because I knew this is going to be underneath the chair. You're barely going to see this pop of color. But I painted black. I put a little bit of painter's tape and then did this lime green kind of yellowish stripe. I got tons of overspray because I rushed it and I didn't really care that much. And then also my can was messing up. I thought I was going to have a finer line of spray, but I actually, it got jammed in the middle, and that's another reason why I got more overspray than expected. But honestly, once the chair's over top of it, you're barely going to see that anyways. I was thinking about adding a bunch of stickers and stuff. But anyway, so the platform, we have our legs. They're on there solid. They were white. Now they're painted with the rest of it. It's looking really, really good. All right, I'm kind of in the darkness and the shadow here, but that's okay. So I was thinking about, I wanted to brace this chair. So this is an IKEA Poeng chair. And when you sit down in it, it flexes. You can see I'm pulling on it a little bit and it flexes. It's actually probably hard to see, but maybe that's a little bit better. So when you press the pedals really hard, the seat kind of flexes back. So I'm trying to think through if there's a way. I have these metal brackets that I found. I'm trying to think through if there's a way to create a support that is going to prevent it from flexing. So possibly mounting it there. And then that I like the idea of using these as a support, but mounting it seems a little bit challenging. I'll get back to you. So as I am planning on screwing that onto here, it's going to give me a base to mount my, what's it called? Universal seat rack. So I'm just gonna clamp this down so I can screw it a little bit easier. So that's clamped on there, and then I will screw in. I'm gonna screw in there. Probably don't need to show that on video, so we'll return in a second. Oh, it's heavier now. Wood on the back. Okay, this might be easier than I thought it was going to be. So I think that's going to be our method. I think we're going to try to measure out just measure and put some dots drill some holes, put some bolts in. Bada boom, bada bing. That's the play. I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom here. Now, let's sit in. So now that I have the seat moving front and back, working really well, really well might be an exaggeration, but working. Now, the only thing left I have to do is the pedals. So, I can sit in the chair. It's got a little more support, so a lot less flex because of these in the back. The pedals are screwed in, so they're not going anywhere. No flex at all. So that's gonna be great for braking and stuff. And then I can adjust the seat forward, backwards, get it comfortable where I like it, and then I can move the entire rig. Okay, there it is. In position. I mean, the heftiness of it though will mean it's not going anywhere while racing. I mean, there's still like a little bit of chair flex, but it's not a ton. And I might be able to, I don't think you would notice that while driving. So tomorrow, we're gonna build the shifter. And we're going to, put the shifter in, handbrake, brake seatbelt. Alright, we're starting to line things up. See how straight it is. So we got our wheel, pedals down there, seat. Again, seat is retracting nicely. Positioning is good, so excited about this. I got this L bracket and I put a little cutout part of a skateboard right here. And it's got a tiny bit of a wobble to it, but maybe I can tighten these. I don't know, probably can't tighten it any more than that. But then, if you've seen in one of my previous videos, I made this handbrake out of a skateboard as well. I pull on this down like that, and it pulls this string. The string will be attached to an Xbox controller like that. So, string attached. Pull on this, and it pulls the joystick down. I bind that button to, I bind the left stick down to handbrake in the game. So that's pretty cool. So that's gonna be in a good position right there for me. And then I'm gonna mount the shifter right here in just a second. All right guys, so I actually cut out with my jigsaw a little like crescent moon semicircle there, and then bolted that in. So this is like super sturdy. You could just go to town on that. It's in sequential mode now, but it also can go to H pattern mode, obviously. All right, it's been a minute since I have filmed what's going on. So basically, I'm going through all my cables from my last apartment where I had all my game setup stuff, and I had pretty much just thrown it in a box. So it's taking a long time to figure out exactly where all my cables are. But like shifters plugged into the wheelbase is plugged in, some other cables. I'm not really a stickler for cable management, but I'm trying to get a little bit better cable management. The PC, I have it out right now because I'm plugging everything in. Then I'm going to move the PC back there once I'm done with that. I drilled a little hole through the desk so it is coming up there. And then if you look here, I made this stand out of wood to go on the bottom of my monitor mount. And the reason for this is it's going to allow me to get my screen really, really close to get a great field of view. So that's where we are. Guys, I think we are live. We did it. So everything has been plugged in. I got the PC, the wheelbase, the controller over here for the handbrake, shifter. We are in business. All right, here's a buddy of mine, sim racing for the first time. He has never sim raced before. He obviously has driven cars in real life before, but we're using Automobilista 1 because he felt like after trying a few different sims on my rig, he felt like Automobilista 1 felt the most realistic at VIR. So look how there's no flex in the wheelbase. My old table from my old setup had some kind of flex to it. Everything's really solid. Got the tablet there, got the old cell phone as a digital dash, got the button box, handbrake, shifter, all that stuff. So I'm really, really happy with how this setup feels. He enjoyed it a lot. He said it was really immersive and felt really natural. So great success. I hope to make more videos like this in the future too. So yeah. One thing I decided to do today is paint the entire background area behind my monitor black. And the reason that I'm doing that is so when you're looking in your peripherals, you're not distracted by, like I had this really bright column wall there, and I had obviously this bright wall here, and it was a little bit distracting when I'm driving. Just took you out of the immersion, but hopefully having all this black around where the monitor will be, you won't be able to see this brighter section because the monitor will be covering it up. But hopefully once the monitor is placed there, once we're gaming and racing, we will be more immersed in all of that peripheral blacked out. It's gonna just really bring the focus into what's happening on the screen. All right, here's my view coming out the pits. As I crash while I try to film. Much more immersive. I got my button box. I got my tablet and everything. Look at that. Everything's just black around. Chords are more hidden. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. More videos to come. Hope you enjoyed it. Pretty sick.